Welcome everyone, Christine here with Arbaal the Undefeated, and why he may very well have not only the best Khorne campaign in Total War Warhammer 3 with patch 6.0, but one of the best campaigns in the game as a whole. Because there's quite a lot of things to like about this campaign in terms of how dynamic it is, in terms of the various locations you go to, and in terms of how it is set up. So let's start with the first things first. You get a construction time, crucially, construction costs also, but construction time for mortal, military, and defense buildings. You already start with a mortal settlement as Khorne, which is actually a pretty big deal, because Scarbrand and Skulltaker do start with demon settlements, and demonic units are not good as mortal units. So you already start with the ability of getting cast warriors of Khorne, as opposed to bloodletters. But on top of that, you can upgrade these buildings in one turn. That is a pretty big deal, because it means that the moment you're starting this campaign, going into these battles, fighting these battles, what you can do very quickly is take these settlements, occupy these settlements. You can occupy 2 settlements very quickly, and you can then use a bunch of the tools available over here to get yourself an army very quickly, and an effective army at that. Now, this is helped by the fact that Arbaal does also get a global recruitment duration of -1 turn for all units. So you can certainly get a very quick stack of troops, even if it's just cast warriors. But it won't just be cast warriors. It will be cast warriors alongside cast warriors of Khorne with halberds, cast chariots of Khorne, or marauder horsemen, if you so decide to go down that particular path in this specific campaign. So those are already tangible benefits to consider in this specific campaign. Just how fast you can get the ball rolling, so to speak, on turn 1. Pretty damn substantial affair. Get a second lord over here, like a blood speaker, if you do get Omens of Destruction DLC. I do think getting the DLC is certainly worth it from my point of view. So that's the first benefit in this campaign, just the fact that you can really get this ball rolling very quickly in this campaign. Now, the second reason this campaign is awesome is that as early as turn 2, though really you may want to delay it a bit just to capture your initial profits, but you don't necessarily need to do that. But once you get 5 Khorne favor, you start getting the ability of teleporting around the world to be able to complete various objectives, like for instance being up Azazel, because hey, why not? That's actually fun. Like, just let's go beat up Azazel. Why not, right? So you start having very quickly in this particular campaign, you start having a fairly dynamic campaign situation on your hands very quickly over here, with a lot of possibilities unlocked pretty quickly at that. And that is one of the substantial points. On top of that, these objectives, these Khorne favor objectives, also give you a vision on the campaign map with various factions. So that means you can start declaring wars, get involved in peace agreements, all that, to get money to really get you going. One of the things to be said about Warhammer 3's meta is that it certainly favors very fast and aggressive action in a lot of ways. So just being able to get out there, start doing stuff, is a pretty substantial advantage that you do have in this campaign. Because every single turn, you can teleport to various locations, but when you teleport to a location, you're not necessarily forced to just, like, leave, pack up and leave. You can actually stay in a location and, you know, cause some mayhem, make vassals, those kind of things. Those are available in a campaign. So for instance, over here, I teleported next to Azazel. Yeah, I did destroy Azazel. Guess who's next on the chopping block? Kostaltin. And by eliminating Kostaltin, and this is just an example, there are many others in a campaign as Arbaal. But by just, say, for instance, okay, I'm going to go declare war on Kostaltin, I'm going to take his settlement, all that kind of stuff. Just taking over his settlement, I can then turn around to Vlad, potentially, in this campaign, and just be like, hey, Vlad, you want a settlement? Be my vassal. And once I get that barracks built over there, I will start having vassals. And that creates a further dynamic in your campaign. You can only teleport to your capital and to various objectives. But that doesn't mean you can't do other things while you are in a certain location. So that is already a great dynamic of a campaign that we do have available when playing as Arbaal. So getting a full stack, getting a second stack pretty quickly, having a good amount of money, having a good amount of diplomatic possibilities, having a good amount of climate, well, not climate, but just areas of the campaign that you can travel to fairly quickly. It adds a lot to this specific campaign. Teleportation that you inherently have as Arbaal, there is more, quite a bit more, available in this specific campaign. Because one of the things you can do with Arbaal is you can summon a cult every time you complete a challenge. And this is where things are a bit fun, because cults allow you to instantly transport your faction leader to the settlement. So let's say, you know, you go to an area, you deal with an enemy, you set up a cult, and then you go back whenever you need to. Like, for instance, over here, I defeated Scarbrand. If I had that effect enabled over there, I could have teleported right there. By the way, that global recruitment benefit that Arbaal has is far more significant than you might think. Because here's the thing. A lot of units may have a 4-turn recruitment globally, right? Like Chaos Knights or whatnot. Well, Bloodletting reduces global recruitment duration by -2. But because you inherently have -1, you can kind of understand where I'm getting here. Like, over here, I'm recruiting 3 units of Chaos Knights. And you're not just reliant on Arbaal, like, or his teleportation nonsense, because there's more to it. Like, over here, maybe I don't want to teleport in a specific location, so I've vassalized Astrogoth by taking this fort, selling it to him with a barracks. I've recruited an army right here, and next turn, I will teleport Arbaal in his massive freaking army in this location to beat up Zarnagrund. That is a significant level of power. Being able, and keep in mind, you do have one of your hardest objectives, quote-unquote, to actually take Zarnagrund with Arbaal. Because one of the challenges of Khorne that he does have actually involves beating the 2 armies, the 2 endgame armies that Zarnagrund starts with. So not only are you getting a truckload of money by just inherently beating up Zarnagrund, no. You go further in this campaign, much further in this campaign, because... Okay, so we got him teleported right here. Oh, we're running out of money. What shall we do? Not a problem. So over here, you can use cultists to set up cults. You can use Arbaal's mechanics, and if we look at these challenges, it's 8,000 gold, minus 40% recruitment cost for all freaking armies, and then 50% post-battle loot gained over here. That is freaking ridiculous. And the benefits that inherently come. If you're pretty hardcore with Arbaal, you can actually go try your luck at defeating Zarnagrund. An army of Chaos Warriors will defeat Zarnagrund. That is not an exaggeration on my part, by the way.
Serve and sacrifice. All we take for him.
Just kind of worth pointing out in this campaign. So between the cultists, the teleportation, the cults they can get through Arbaal's teleportation mechanic, you end up with a ridiculous campaign. Like for instance over here, like just something I've been working to set up over here. You know, I want to confederate Skulltaker, right? Well, one of the ways I can do so is by selling him certain territory and getting him involved in various wars. That is a path that is available. Because you do want, eventually, to get your hands on both Scarbrand and Skulltaker in a campaign like this. And you absolutely freaking can. That's the crazy thing. You can maintain large armies, you can get a lot of skulls, you can get a lot of power in a campaign like this. You know, even set up an ambush right here and defeat the armies of Zarnagrund. Because the Skulltaker can win this battle on his own. Skulltaker with someone else, he will definitely win this battle. And you know, I can show up over here in Itza, start shit up, take Itza, get Skulltaker involved in our war. It's based on proximity and strength, more or less, in a lot of ways. And that is, and that kind of dynamic campaign experience that you have. Like, sure, you can take Zarnagrund early on, get access to tier 4 units. Think of this. Get access to Knights with Alliances, get access to Minotaurs, get access to everything else, if you go for it. Like, maybe that is the strategy. It's not a strategy I pursued here, but it is something you can do. Or you can ignore that. Do other things in a campaign, do other objectives if you want to. So over here, Sarah almost took the bait. I say almost.
Unrivaled in any realm.
You know, lure your enemies out, fight them, destroy them, obliterate them, get money, get paid for the whole thing. Sure, it might be annoying to try and take these elements, but you only kind of need to raise one of them to the ground. And yeah, it says Pyrrhic victory. That's a load of bullshit. Because, yeah, we're like, Arbaal would win this battle, definitely, hands down. But hey, the game wants to be like that? Sure, fair enough. You get to a point where you just don't give a freaking shit. Like, yeah, tier 4 freaking settlement. Lucky enough, it's a mortal settlement, thankfully. So now, we can start really going on the deep end of a lot of freaking good recruitment over here. So, you know, get Minotaurs in this campaign. Get access to Minotaurs, get access to all kinds of different things here.
War is Khorne.
While also getting paid in the process. Oh, sure, I took a lot of casualties. Do I look like I give a shit? I don't think I give a shit. Really. I really don't think I give much of a damn in this situation. My cavalry army is a bit much, isn't it? So let's just get rid of some of these chariots and blood beasts. Funnily enough, I could recruit them faster with global recruitment, but maybe just get some chosen in this situation. Chosen of Khorne from the capital. The sheer potential, the sheer variety, the sheer strength that is available in this campaign is unmatched even by other Khorne characters, let alone by other, you know, campaigns around the campaign map. Because I can tell you, very few other campaigns can compare right now to the insanity that is on display over here. In a campaign like this. And yeah, sure, I might raise one of these settlements, occupy the other. Take a while to get to tier 5. That's fine. If I had more skulls, maybe I could occupy the entire province. All at freaking once. But the possibility is like, you know, I just want to come back here, you know, beat up Grimgor. I can just get a cultist over here, set up a cult at Grimgor, teleport, beat the shit out of Grimgor. No problem. I have a cult over here in the World Edge Archway.
For him, I will.
So that is, all of these things combined are what make this a freaking fantastic, top tier campaign that very few other campaigns can match in the game. I mean, just this army alone is kind of freaking ridiculous. Maybe I just want to get rid of a Cast Knight over here and just get more Chosen. Or maybe not. Get some Skull Reapers, Wrathmongers, Khorne. Let's get some more Skull Reapers over here. You get a lot of army variety. Now you might say, well, Skull Taker can get over here as well. But here's an interesting thing about Arbaal's challenge, and I'll end with this. When you teleport to a faction with Skull Taker, one of the key differences between Skull Taker and Arbaal, Skull Taker has to be at war with the faction that you teleport to, and it is on a cooldown. Whereas Arbaal can teleport every turn. It does cost them, I mean, it costs both of them special resource favor versus instance. It's a fairly cheap cost with regards to instance. But you do have to be at war. Arbaal does not. Like, case in point, let me just raise this settlement. You know, just raise this settlement, occupy the other, all that. 6,000. But it goes even crazier than that. But point is, like, let's say, you know, I want to teleport. I can't teleport to Be'lakor. I am not at war with Be'lakor, though I kind of want this defeat rate, so it's like, let's just get that defeat rate. But I don't get automatically involved in a war, which means you don't just have to teleport and, oh, I am going to just instantly fight someone or anything like that. You are not obliged to do that.
No, I must perform obeisances.
And yes, get some raiding income because we want some legendary heroes unlocked over here. Get this settlement, just occupy it.
Therein lies oblivion.
Get all of this stuff sorted out pretty quickly in this campaign. Maybe at one point I would even make Zarnagrun the demon settlement. And then we got a cult, we got money, we can take the other settlement, or maybe even gets taken automatically. You don't have unholy manifestations. I think if you had unholy manifestations, consider the fact that you can get 25% campaign movement range for Arbaal. You can summon a cult when you win a battle, or you guarantee a cult. And you get the 20% chance of summoning a blood host or summoning a cult every freaking battle you win. That is freaking absurd. Like, all of this combined. Like, early on, you might want to maximize your favor generation, right? But once you do a bit of that, and you're finished, and all that good stuff, you start thinking to yourself, well, why am I bothering with this when I can do... when I can just summon a blood host wherever the freaking heck I want. And so you do. You summon blood hosts. You summon armies. Now, of course, getting other armies around the campaign map is going to be tricky, but still. It is freaking ridiculous of a campaign, and I love it. Costin signing out.